Okay, so I wanted to make this video to elaborate a little bit on the concept of footsies, specifically for Dragon Ball Fighters, where I definitely learned most of these lessons from Street Fighter, or learning how to play competitive Street Fighter 4, but the more you think about it, the more you'll realize that these concepts do or should apply to every fighting game. Yeah, basically every fighting game, right? Some in different degrees than others, like more so than others, but definitely in every fighting game, these footsies should apply. But we're talking right now specifically for Dragon Ball Fighters. So as a quick breakdown, there's three main pillars of footsies, as I call them, and that's, well, it should be walking forward, walking backwards, and poking, right? So that's, the walking is from Street Fighter, right? But you can extrapolate that to just forward movement, backward movement, and still poking. Now, just breaking that down, what are all of the above? Of course, moving forward is moving forward. In this game, it's running forward, jumping forward, air dashing forward, what have you. Moving backwards, you're going to be back dashing. Jumping backwards is a very common one in this game. And then poking is, of course, just anything that you're trying to hit the opponent with, whether it's a button or an assist or a super dash, right? We're going to get back to super dashes, by the way, because super dash is kind of special, especially for this game. Now, those are the three pillars, and they kind of work in a rock, paper, scissors type faction. First of all, moving forward is how you're going to beat moving backwards, because if you keep moving backwards, you're jockeying for position, you keep going back and back, you're eventually going to reach the corner or some disadvantageous position in most games, right? In Dragon Ball Fighters, you'll reach the corner, then you can't really jump back anymore, you're kind of stuck there, all right? On the other hand, how do you beat moving forward? Real simple. You put a button out where they're going to move forward into. So if I'm doing nothing but, like, say, run at you or something, then of course I'm going to get hit by, you know, an attack or an assist or a super dash, because when you're moving forward, you're not blocking, right? Now, how do you beat poking? Or how do you beat, you know, somebody just sticking buttons out at you? And that's by moving backwards. So the button's only going to reach you if you're in the range to be hit by it, right? So if you're just jumping back, and like I'm like running forward and then pushing a button, right? I'm never going to touch you. Your backward movement's going to be fast enough to get away from all of that, right? So jumping back, super jumping back, what have you. And that brings us back to moving forward beats moving backwards, because once I reach the corner, because I'm trying to get away from your attacks, I can't move back any further, and any poke is going to reach me, whether it's hit or blocked. Now, that's how neutral is going to work in games like Dragon Ball Fighters, and why there can be a lot of nuance, like changes in nuance depending on the game. Because like I said, there's a lot of different ways to do the three above concepts of footsies. You can be like jumping forward for, like we were talking about, jumping forward, which will dodge like beams and stuff. You can be super dashing, which tracks no matter where you're going. And you can be, you know, super jumping backwards, which is like extremely safe in this game, and still looking for things to beat on the way in. So a lot of people, a lot of, like, let's say high level players are going to be doing a whole lot of stuff like moving backwards, because like this, because some of the strongest counter pokes or pokes in this game are things that you can do from a relatively safe position, like a assist call or a super dash. And this, by the way, is what makes super dash an extremely broken tool in this game, Dragon Ball Fighters. Because remember, we were talking about, you know, the three pillars of footsies. What does super dash look like to you? It is a poke, for sure, but it's also moving forward at the same time, and it tracks no matter where you're going. Jumping backwards, jumping forward, jumping straight above you, what have you. So super dash in this game is a combination of forward movement and also poking, and also sometimes a counter poke. So it's very, very important to be able to control super dash when you're playing footsies in this game, because super dash covers two of the three pillars of neutral play. And of course, you can beat it pretty consistently or pretty strongly. You can punish it like crazy with a 2-wakes or what have you. But say you're trying to get space by moving backwards, or you're looking for something to whiff punish, super dash is going to beat all of that, whether on block or on hit. So that's a quick, you know, summary of footsies as I see them in Dragon Ball Fighters. It's something that you can think about if you're, you know, not sure why somebody beat you or whatnot. You know, like, why did I lose this neutral situation? Oftentimes it's because you overcommitted, you went forward, and when the opponent thought you're moving forward, they counterpoked you, right? Okay, so let me elaborate on that a little bit. The whole concept of neutral in general is very, let's say, predictive. The big reason why, why this is a rock, paper, scissors type scenario is that you can't always react to what's going on. Like, if you say you want to do a poke in order to beat somebody moving forward at you, you kind of have to guess that they're going to move forward into the poke in the first place. So that kind of makes like a whole nother game, right? So say I think that you're going to try to poke me out of forward movement. All I need to do is move forward and then do something safe, and then whiff punish. I see the whiff and then I punish it, whiff punish the poke. In the same way, if you know that I'm gonna look for something to whiff punish, then try to whiff punish it, all you need to do is continue moving backwards, and then you can whiff punish my attempted whiff punish attempt. So Footsies, in summary, is a very predictive type of gameplay, let's say. Some things you can react to, like if you're just playing safe, moving backwards a lot, you can typically continue doing that until it's time to whiff punish something, and then you can do that on reaction, right? On the other hand, if you just continue doing that, again, you'll be pushed into the corner, at which point poking becomes much stronger, and you don't really need to do forward movement anymore. So, in summary, again, moving forward beats moving backwards, moving backward beats moving backward beats poking, poking beats moving forward. And that's my summary of how Footsies works.